In the heart of the dusty frontier, where the relentless sun scorches humble adobe structures and the persistent winds echo with time-worn tales, lies a sleepy Arizona town poised on the brink of destiny. The town, cloaked in the deep hues of desert twilight, holds secrets in every creaking wooden storefront and every weathered stone of its parched streets. Here, the artistry of time and dust have sculpted a landscape of rugged beauty, a place where the silence of the earth speaks louder than any clamor of modern life. Every gust of wind seems to murmur forgotten histories, and beneath the clear, relentless blue sky, the promise of change lingers like a stirring melody waiting to be played. At the center of this tapestry of fate stands Caleb, the Crooner, Stone, a man whose storied past intertwines deeply with the land he now calls home. Formerly a lawman whose righteous resolve carved his name into the annals of the Old West, Caleb chose a quieter path, a life dedicated to the soulful strings of his guitar. Having traded his badge for the chords of soft, melancholic tunes, he sought refuge in a semblance of peace offered by this tranquil town. Yet fate, as incessant as the desert winds, weaves restlessness through even the calmest existence. The stage is set for a convergence of heritage and new beginnings, where the bittersweet notes of a serenade will harmonize with the echoes of a violent past. In this narrative of redemption and raw heroism, every dust-laden street corner and sun-baked facade bears silent witness to the enduring pulse of history and the promise of a reckoning yet to come. Thus, under vast skies and relentless heat, every determined heartbeat in this town beats with unfolding legend. Once a celebrated lawman with an unyielding dedication to justice, Caleb, the Crooner, Stone forged his legend amidst the unforgiving expanses of the Wild West. In his early years, when the horizon promised both glory and peril, Caleb waded into the chaos of outlaws and disputed rights with a calm determination that radiated from his very soul. Every encounter and every dusty duel was etched in the chronicles of his past, a memory that would forever haunt yet dignify him. His precise aim in the face of danger became a subject of whispered lore among the townsfolk, while his quiet demeanor and thoughtful eyes concealed the burdens of violent reckonings. With every showdown, Caleb bore not only his revolver but also a heavy heart, each bullet marking the sacrifice of innocence and lost opportunities for peace. Over time, the relentless toll of gunfights and moral dilemmas led him to reconsider a life steeped in perpetual conflict. Drowning in the remorse of battles fought and lives altered in a split second, he sought solace away from the bloodshed. It was at this crossroads that he exchanged his revered badge for a humble guitar, a symbol of his desire to put aside the echoes of violence in exchange for the expressive rhythm of music. With each strum, the soulful melody that resonated from his instrument spoke of both melancholy and hope, a ballad that encapsulated the bittersweet journey of his existence. The moniker, the Crooner, emerged not merely as a nickname but as an embodiment of his profound transformation. A man who sang the sorrows and triumphs of a turbulent past with the same passion once reserved for his duty as a protector. Now, as his legend continued to grow in quiet corners of the town and beyond, Caleb's reputation was that of a man caught between what was and what might have been. His story, an intricate blend of star-crossed destiny and personal redemption, mingled the romance of the Old West with the poignant tunes of a lifetime reimagined. It was told in hushed reverence at local gatherings, and immortalized in the soft lullabies that drifted on the winds of the desert night. It remained a tale of a solitary warrior who once wielded the power of law and retribution, only to find that the greatest battles are sometimes fought within the crevices of the human heart. Caleb's journey from violence to melody was a metamorphosis of the soul. With each strum of his guitar, old scars softened, giving way to hope. The balance of bloodshed and ballads wove a tapestry of redemption, echoing through time, and reminding all who witnessed it that change is both inevitable and beautiful, beyond measure. Every day in the quaint town, life unfolded with a mixture of quiet routine and subtle tension. The early morning light cast soft shadows across weathered streets, where the simple rhythm of daily chores mingled with hushed conversations that hinted at unspoken anxieties. The townsfolk went about their routines, their lives marked by a persistent hope for prosperity. Despite the harshness of the surrounding desert, amid this modest life, Caleb Stone became an integral part of the community. On sunlit porches and under cool twilight skies, he played his guitar, his music filling even the most desolate corners with a gentle reminder of beauty and resilience. His melodies resonated with the silent yearning of the people, offering a brief respite from the worries that the past often carried with it. Yet, beneath the surface of this seemingly tranquil existence lay an undercurrent of uncertainty. The regular bustle of trade and neighborly greetings was interrupted by occasional murmurs of dissatisfaction and subtle signs of unrest. Shadows of past conflicts and the lingering threat of lawlessness were ever present, hidden beneath careful smiles and polite nods. Old stories of Caleb's heroic feats mingled with whispered doubts about the safety of the present, creating a fragile balance between hope and apprehension. The community, though united by shared hardships, understood that peace in these parts was always a delicate construct, easily disturbed by the encroaching shadows of history. In this town, the calm veneer of everyday life belied the latent energy that simmered quietly under the surface. Every resident, from the stoic elder to the playful child, sensed that the past was never far behind. The air seemed charged with an unspoken promise that the tranquility might one day be shattered, and that change, no matter how gentle at first, could sweep in like a desert storm, leaving a new legacy in its wake. Amid the quiet routines, an undercurrent of anticipation stirred in every heart. The fragile peace served both as promise and warning, reminding all that even simplicity could summon the brave. This delicate balance defined the soul of the town with steadfast, quiet resolve. As the horizon dimmed under the blaze of sunset, a stark new presence began to edge its way into the life of the town. Amid the deep crimson skies and long, looming shadows of the desert, the dreaded cattle baron and his cadre of desperados rode into view, their arrival marked by an unsettling stillness. Their presence was like a dark stain upon the vibrant palette of the town, instantly drawing the attention of all who sensed danger. With deliberate, menacing steps, the gang swept through the streets, leaving a trail of tension that mingled with the dust stirred by the horses' hooves. The cattle baron, a figure of ruthless ambition, carried an aura of absolute authority. His eyes, cold and calculating, surveyed the town as if it were a chessboard awaiting his strategic moves. Every member of his gang echoed his resolve, moving with a synchrony that implied both training and brutality. The stark contrast between their crude menace and the town's fragile routine was jarring, a sudden reminder that the calm could be shattered with astonishing swiftness. In every deliberate stride and every darting glance, the gang communicated their intent: control, dominance, and the dispelling of any hope that peace might endure. As the gang made its ominous approach, Caleb's presence, though quietly unnoticed by many, sent ripples of unease through a community already wary of change. In the subtle shift of wind and the hushed silence of streets, one could sense that the very fabric of local life was tilting towards an inevitable storm. Moments that once promised quiet existed now as foreboding preludes to a battle that was more than a clash of arms. It was a struggle for the soul of the town. The air itself seemed charged with the distant echoes of impending conflict, urging the spirit of justice to awaken in the hearts of those who had long been resigned to routine. Every careful step of the Baron's posse tightened the noose of apprehension around the town. Their arrival signified not only a threat to a community fiercely holding on to its delicate peace, but a preludial note in the symphony of conflict that would soon crescendo into a historic reckoning for all. The looming threat, like a dark premonition, settled into every crack of the old town's soul, ensuring that the conflict's silence was only temporary, and that an upheaval was imminent, beyond measure. As the town's once calm rhythms trembled under the shadow of invading menace, Caleb found himself at a crossroads of destiny. The quiet solitude he had so carefully nurtured was now disrupted by the call of duty echoing from the depths of his past. Within him, a storm of memories, of resolute heroism and painful regrets, clashed with the gentle chords of his new life. The internal battle was as fierce as any duel he had ever faced, and every heartbeat underscored the weight of the decision before him. The town, too, seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the outcome of the inner conflict unfolding within their beloved guardian. In a silent moment of introspection, Caleb revisited the pages of his former life. He recalled days filled with the sharp tang of gunpowder and the heavy responsibility of keeping law and order, when every draw of his six-gun had been etched with both precision and remorse. Now, the melody of his guitar whispered of redemption, a soft, persistent reminder that the past was both a chain and a guide. Each recalled victory, and every bitter defeat converged within him, strengthening his resolve to stand once more for justice. However reluctant the choice might have been, slowly, with deliberate purpose, Caleb gathered not only his old tools and trusted revolver, but also the memories that had made him who he was. The decision was born out of honor, a desire to protect a community that had given him sanctuary and a hope that even the most battered spirits could be mended. The path back to defiance was illuminated by the dim light of fading regrets and a newfound courage, as he set his eyes on the horizon where the impending storm awaited. With each measured step toward his destiny, the former lawman reaffirmed his timeless commitment to safeguard the fragile lines between law and chaos in a world that was rapidly evolving. In that decisive moment, the weight of history and the urgent pulse of the present converged, compelling Caleb to embrace his destiny with unwavering resolve and a heart afire with courage beyond measure. At noon, the sun reached its zenith, casting harsh light over the town and sharpening every detail of the impending showdown. The main street, bathed in unforgiving brightness, transformed into a stage where destiny was about to play its final act. Every stone and weathered facade bore silent witness to the tension mounting in the air. In that moment, Caleb advanced with determined purpose, each step a quiet prelude to the collision of past and present. As if time itself held its breath before the inevitable storm of conflict. The air crackled with the promise of destiny fulfilled, beyond compare. On the sunlit street, the cattle baron and his gang appeared as dark silhouettes against the brilliant sky. Their entrance was measured and menacing, with every cowboy step echoing a resolve to seize control. Their eyes burned with ambition and cruelty, setting a stark contrast to the quiet vulnerability that had once defined the town. In their deliberate march, the threat of violence was unmistakable, and every onlooker felt the chill of impending change stirring in the heated air around them. A deep, collective shiver ran through the crowd as destiny edged closer. Fate itself seemed to tilt the scales. Caleb's presence on that fateful day was a quiet yet defiant signal to the town's heart. With every measured step, he recalled the weight of his past responsibilities and the soft call of redemption echoing in his soul. The rhythm of his guitar had long been a balm for weary hearts. And now, its melancholy notes mingled with the tense whispers of fear and hope. In that charged moment, each heartbeat became a testament to resolve, as ancient grudges met new aspirations. History and future converged in every pulse, sparking both challenge and renewal, a destiny reformed before their eyes. In the heat of the confrontation, tension reached its zenith. The clashing of wills was mirrored in the stirring air, where every sound became a note in a grand crescendo. Caleb's grip tightened on both his revolver and his guitar, symbols now united in a single purpose. The enemy forces, though ruthless, exhibited a faint hesitation in the face of an unwavering spirit. The merging of old traditions with the pulse of modern resolve created a scene of breathtaking intensity, capturing the very essence of the timeless struggle between order and chaos. Every heartbeat testified to a future reborn. With the duel at its climax, the town's fate hung in a delicate balance. Every soul, present in that charged moment, sensed that the battle was not solely physical but also symbolic of deeper truths. The mingling of fear and hope resonated in the collective heartbeat of the community, binding them to a moment of historic transformation. As the final moments drew near, every detail, from the glint of metal to the soft strum of guitar strings, etched an indelible mark. On the annals of the Old West, in the aftermath of the fierce confrontation, the town slowly began to heal. The cattle baron and his gang, subdued by the resolute spirit of the community and the unwavering courage of Caleb, faded into the background of history. A gentle calm returned to the streets, as if the very land exhaled a sigh of relief. Caleb, now a living testament to the power of redemption, walked the sunlit avenues with a heavy yet hopeful heart. The echoes of his six-gun and the soft reverberations of his guitar melded into a ballad that promised lasting justice and peace. In that quiet aftermath, every corner of the town bore a silent tribute to the battle fought and the lessons learned. The saga of Caleb, the Crooner, stone was etched not merely in memory but in the very spirit of the people. His legacy, a tapestry woven with threads of valor, sorrow, and melody, would forever resonate in the hearts of all who believed in the possibility of renewal. Thus, as the dust settled and new beginnings emerged, the legacy of Caleb, the Crooner, stone shone like a beacon, inspiring all to embrace hope and pursue justice under the endless desert sky.